Hello everyone. So in this video we are going to see a one peculiar issue where if the entry and exit condition of a particular set or your strategy matches, then the strategy goes into continuous loop. That is, it basically constantly keeps on buying, that is entering into a trade and exiting into a trade, as both the conditions of entry and exit are true. This can happen due to a wrong coding. So it's important therefore that we always deploy a strategy first of all in paper trading and test whether the strategy is working properly as per our conditions, and then only deploy it live in your broking account, or else it can be very risky if it goes into a loop and it will automatically charge a lot of brokerage and it can cause a loss to you. So we will see this particular strategy. As we can see over here, this was deployed say today itself, and we will see the trades that have happened in this strategy. So over here, as you can see, the first entry happened at 8:09 p.m. in future silver micro, and within 1 second this strategy got exited. So as you can see, one future of silver micro was bought at 66,625 at 8:09 p.m. and 6 seconds, whereas it got exited the very next second at 8:07 p.m. So as you can see, and it constantly after this exit was met, it again went into entry mode. Again it took entry at 8:09, again exited at 8:09, again entered at 8:09, again exited at 8:09, and then it constantly this way it kept on entering into a buy trade and kept on selling it. So this can be a very risky situation. So the way to identify this, why this happens and how to fix it, is what we are going to discuss now. So as you can see, it has constantly taken, within 1 minute itself, it has taken so many trades. And at 8:09, I forcefully exited the strategy. That's why it's showing it as universal exit. So we will see why these trades are happening. First of all, how to analyze where the issue is. So over here, as we can see at 8:09, first entry, the future got bought. That means the entry set, the set that we have, is where we are basically buying a long future. So this is the set entry and it is getting exited from that particular set. So that means the issue is in the set where we are buying this particular future of silver micro. So we will see this and we will see that this is basically a match. Somehow the condition of entry and exit are matching over there. So we will see what is happening in terms of the conditions over there. So what we will do is we will just open the edit page of this strategy over here. So we will go to this edit page to check the conditions that are matching. So once we open this edit page, let us go to a section where we are entering into silver, into a buy position in silver mic. So the second set, this is set number 1, where we are buying a future, and that is going into a long position. And set number 2 is what we have created to go into a short position, that is selling silver mic. So since we saw that over here, the set that is going into loop is the buying set. That is where we are buying the particular future of silver mic and exiting it from there. So over here we know that this is not the set where the issue is. We know that the issue is with this particular set. So now we will see what the issue is. So if I click on edit, my condition is that the close of silver micro on a 2-minute candle of the previous candle should be less than 70,000. Alright, so this is the entry condition. Now at the same time, and this is basically the time condition, that it should be between 9 and 12 o'clock in the night. And we will go to the exit condition. So once we go to the exit condition, so we can see that the mistake that we have done over here is that over here also we have put that the price of the previous candle of silver micro should be less than 70,000. That means the entry condition as well as exit condition both are true together. So because of this, what happens is that the strategy is going into loop, that this entry condition is also getting matched and exit condition also is getting matched at the same time. So this is how we can identify that there is an issue over here because of which the strategy is going into loop. So, and then we can basically restrict the trades by certain methods. So we will discuss that after this. So once we have figured out that this particular is the issue, then either we can change the sign from here, that we can make the, whenever the price is greater than 70,000, then only I want to buy, or you can change the sign or the formula in the exit condition, so that they do not clash with each other. So as long as the entry condition and exit condition do not clash with each other, then in that case the strategy will not go into the loop. So, and this can happen at the set level also, and this can happen at a strategy level also. So if you have if you have just one set, and if your exit condition is in universal exit, then it can still go into the loop. If your reactivate on exit after time is say 2 minutes, then what will happen is it will exit, it will wait for 2 minutes, and it will again start entering into the strategy, because the condition gets true at that time. So now we will discuss how to basically stop the strategy from going into loop. So this is an example of how the strategy goes into loop. So there is a very strong way of stopping the number of trades that the strategy trades, right? So we have this position details keyword. So as we can see in this strategy, it is a similar strategy, but as you can see in the template over here, what I have done is I have restricted the number of entries that this strategy can take to maximum 11. So it will not take maximum more than 11 entries at any point in time when the strategy enters. So for example, even if it's your strategy that constantly keeps on buying and selling during the day, you can accordingly use this particular formula to restrict the number of entries that it takes, so that at any point in time the number of the strategy shouldn't go into the loop and it cannot cause you a lot of losses. So we will see how this particular formula is constructed. So I will go to the edit of this particular strategy. Before that, let me just show you the trades that it has taken. So for example, now once it entered, right, it has gone into a live entered status. The strategy is not yet exited, but it is not taking any trades. So as you can see over here, it started taking trade at 8:15, right? After that it went into exit. This is also a same looping strategy, but over here, as you can see, the strategy has not taken any trade after 8:15 p.m. Alright, so if we can count the number of entries, so for example, this is the first entry at 8:15, this is the second entry, first entry, second entry, third entry, fourth entry, fifth entry, sixth entry, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th and 11th. So as we can see, we have restricted the number of entries that it has taken for the strategy to a number of 11 entries, and beyond that, even if the condition is true, it will not take any trade. So we will see how we have restricted this particular entry. So we will go to the edit page of this particular strategy, and we can see that even though the conditions are same, we have used this condition of positions detail. So in positions detail, what we have said is the entry of buy position of this particular silver mic underlying should be less than or equal to 10. So whenever it is 0, that means it will take one time entry. So if you put is less than or equal to 10, that means it will take entry up to 11 times. So if you reduce it to say 9, then it will take entry just 10 times. It will reduce it to, if you reduce it to number 8, then it will take only 9 times entry. If you reduce it to number 7, it will take only 8 times entry. So if you know that during the day, whenever you are trading into a crossover strategy, even if there are around 10-20 trades that can happen in your strategy, you can set a max limit. So for example, if you know that in a day my strategy will not take more than say 30 entries, then you can change this to say suppose 29. So it will just take 30 buy entries, and accordingly you can similarly, if it's a sell condition, then you can basically put this as sell. So you can say that sell should be basically less than equal to number 29, or in this case, in case of sell, it should be greater than. So in case of sell, it will be basically greater than minus number 29. Alright, because that's a negative number, right? Because whenever we are selling, we are basically going into negative territory. So basically whenever there is a 29 or maximum 29 cells that happen, it should not go beyond minus 29. So if it goes to minus 30, minus 32, etc., it will not go beyond that, because we have restricted that maximum number of cells that the strategy will take will be restricted to 30, since it is minus 29. So similarly, if it's a buy position, as we discussed, what we will do is we will change this to buy all. We'll change this to greater than less than equal to less than or equal to number, suppose 29. So this will take basically only entry only 30 times for the buy position. So that is how we can restrict the number of trades and stop the strategy from going into loop, even in case of the worst case scenario where you, even after checking, you thought that the strategy might not go into loop, but this is the second level restriction that we can put in order to stop the strategy from going into loop. So this is how basically we can control the strategy from going into loop. Thank you.